There's one thing that I will guarantee you is true. Innovation is something that people in the media hate. When I say the media, I mean, legacy, heritage, status, usual sock puppet, that otiose, moribund, anachronistic media. Innovation is something they hate. Not only that, you have to understand there are people who work for these people, these companies, who are themselves hacks, who have been industry hacks, who are hanging on tenaciously to the only thing they've ever known, and that is this particular type of media. And late night TV is this gangrenous leg that they can't bring themselves to amputate, and it's going to kill everything. It's an anachronism. It's like an appendix. It's like a coelacanth. It's this useless anachronism. And the problem is you have people who are making millions who are not going to say, hey, wait a minute. Don't you think it's a good idea that we get rid of what we're doing? Don't you think like Jimmy Kimmel would say, what am I doing? I'm regurgitating this. Nobody waits until 11:30 or whatever it is to watch some 2-bit hack basically do Trump jokes when we live in a world right now with this thing called the internet that provides some of the most incredible platform for innovation that you can imagine. And I'm going to wait to see Jimmy Kimmel talk to who? Tom Hanks? I mean, what parallel universe do these people live in? And the most important issue and reason for this is it sucks. It's terrible. When you're in that world, when you're making millions and millions, have you seen Jay Leno's house in Newport? His 90,000 cars and garages? Those days are over. Johnny Carson, Jack Parr, Steve Allen, even the folks of yore, Letterman. Letterman got out just in time before he kind of went nuts. But that's over with, and these people are still trying to recreate it. They're trying to. And when you have people who used to work with Letterman, or used to work with Johnny Carson, or used to work with whatever, they're not about to leave. And we see it, by the way, locally on local news. Look at your local news. It's an anachronism. Have you seen your local news? First of all, you don't know who these people are. There's no longevity. Every week there's somebody new. And when you look at them, you say, oh, okay. All righty. I understand what we're talking about. So you're seeing all of the trappings of the usual multiplicity and heterogeneity of heterogeneity of hosting platforms, if you know what I'm saying. Kids and people who work for nothing. There's no money in it anymore. It's news, sports, and weather. Traffic. They're doing traffic on TV. How that ever made any sense even then? Traffic on TV? What, do you have a TV in your car by the time? I mean, what is this? Weather? How many weather apps do you have? But late night was the vestigial crown jewel of programming. This was what we used to, oh my God, it meant something. Remember when Letterman was great? Remember when he was innovative, when he was funny and he was clever and it was just so fascinating. And it was really something. And you had the greatest bands who wanted to come by. And now you have, from when I say now, it has been going on for years, from what little I can ever stomach. And it's only maybe on my YouTube rotation. But Jimmy Kimmel, how this guy has kept out of an asylum for this year, I have no idea. And he's very talented. He does some great imitations. He can do some musical stuff. But the laughs and this is, I mean, it's almost like you don't know it's over. I know a bunch of these folks. It's funny. They used to be rockers, like in the 60s. And they still have, they dye their hair black and they wear tattoos and they think they're rock stars. It's the saddest thing I've ever seen in my life. They don't know that it's over. See, certain things come to an end. The subject matter doesn't. It's not that, late night formulaic TV might, but interviews don't. Look at Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan is the biggest thing on anything. Lex Friedman, who interviewed Donald Trump, that was excellent. That breaks every mold in the world. Long form, no commercials. People used to say, oh, these young people today, they can't sit through this. They have the attention span of a gnat. Well, they may do, but not for something that's interesting. In fact, when shows were dropped, they'll spend the whole weekend watching every version. I think those days are over, I hope, but you would watch every episode of every show. They called it Netflix Neck. They would sit there for the longest time. They can sit there if you give them something that's interesting. But it's got to be innovative. It's got to be different. And you need innovative and different people running the show. But you've got these fossils, these fossilized, concretized, ossified relics from a time that doesn't exist anymore. They even what I forget which show it was. They pulled the band. They can't even, how much is a band cost? They're firing every shot across the bow. It's over. It's a relic. I mean, I don't understand it. And you would think right now, with all of that, all the available talent that's out there, you think somebody would say, listen, we've got to revamp this. We need to really go for the best talent and the most innovative, interesting stuff there is in order to compete with cable platforms. You would think they would do that. But no, because you've got a bunch of these relics who have been there since day one. They've been there for years. Maybe they were in sales. Maybe they were part of the network. Maybe they were sent up. Maybe they're trying to wait to get their 20 in or whatever it's for retirement. Who knows? But they keep recycling the same stuff over and over. Here we have something. I'll give an example. This is more of a news story. We have in New York what is proved to be one of the biggest scandals ever. Not only is the mayor, but everybody from the police department on down has had phones seized by the FBI and grand juries. And I mean, it is the biggest thing. And if you listen to local news, where you would think they're going to own this story, it's still, I got a guy with an ill-fitting suit doing a stand-up live for a minute telling me absolutely nothing using every cliche there is. It's the part of this set. Same thing goes for talk radio, terrestrial talk radio. They're still talk. I mean, it's so sad. They're even saying, for example, hey, call Congress. Tell them to make sure they keep AM and phones. You want to pass legislation that you keep AM radio? Do you see what's happening? No, I mean, I know you do, but they don't. And you know why? Because they're idiots. And that idiocy will destroy them. All right, dear friends, make sure you subscribe to Lionel Nation. Make sure you subscribe to this. Make sure you like this video. You know how important that is. And also make sure you hit that little bell so you're notified of live streams and new videos. And for whatever it's worth, I beg, entreat, importune, and ask you to comment as you see fit.